Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Florence from the A to Z of Emotional Health Online Library. This video is part of the series of videos about understanding empathy as a way of life, understanding how to embrace empathy in a way that really will create real change within the immediacy of our own lives, but change that will also help to radiate out into humanity. Now, when we are treated badly, and many of us will know what that feels like, we are often left with a kind of emotional residue. When we talk about baggage, baggage isn't just something that we hold in our mind. The baggage we are left with is emotional baggage. Anyone who really has been hurt will tell you physical scars will heal. It's the emotional ones that remain. And emotional scars niggle away at us if we haven't been able to find some kind of resolution, if we haven't been able to put something down. Now, I learned something really important from actually I have a rescue dog, and I learned something really valuable from her. She was abandoned and put into a pound. She was left on the streets initially and then put in a pound where she was resident in a compound with 200 other dogs for, I think, nearly 3 years. The ratio in a dog's life is 1 year to 7 in terms of human lives. That means that effectively she was abandoned by her family and imprisoned for what would equate to effectively a life sentence on good behaviour. I think if that happened to us, we would come out of that scenario feeling closed down, unavailable to relate to others. We would be mistrustful, understandably. We'd be angry, we'd be resentful. We certainly wouldn't be grateful, and we certainly would not, I believe, be open to running into new relationships. Even if those people were kind and loving and giving, we would be so wary it would be untrue. Indeed, we might be so angry and so resentful that we ended up pushing everybody away from us, which would, of course, in turn, close us to the possibility of healing. Now, Willow, my little dog's name is Willow, has taught me a very valuable lesson. She's very nervous. She is understandably wary of people. So she certainly hasn't forgotten her experiences. And yet, simultaneously, she is completely and utterly 100% open to love. She is open and available to receive love, and she is grateful. She hasn't closed herself off to the possibility of allowing love into her world in ways that will actually enable her to heal. She has been with me for a little while now, and I have watched her steadily build in confidence, steadily build in her sense of security and safety and stability. And actually, she's quite a character now. And yet, she hasn't forgotten what happened, that's for sure, because something can come along and she immediately jumps into a position of alert. But she doesn't live from that position of alert 24/7. As soon as that alert is over, she turns the volume back down and she returns to her place of stability and safety within our family. Healing is taking place for her, and I can see that it's continually taking place. And each time she encounters something that could be a possible threat, as I said, she returns to the memory, but she isn't living through that memory on a daily basis. I don't think we're so good at this. I think when we are hurt or violated or abused or abandoned, we feel damaged and we then live through that damage. And in doing so, we close ourselves to the possibility of receiving the healing that we can receive from people who are genuinely caring, kind, and desire to give love. I learned a big lesson from Willow, and I hope in sharing it, I can offer that to you. Because what I have seen is that we need to not forget the past. Otherwise, how can we learn? We cannot possibly develop our ability to become discerning in our relationships if we're wide open to everyone and we're hurt, and we continue to be wide open to everyone. We are continually opening ourselves to potentially being hurt again, because there are a mixture of people in the world. I would love to say the world is full of wonderful, good, caring people, but actually it's not. The world is full of a mixture of people. And those that behave badly do so undoubtedly because they have been damaged and they have not learned or been able to find some process of recovery. And so they spill out more damage and more hurt into the world. We can regard them with compassion, but that doesn't mean that we accept what they are doing or that we welcome them into our lives. If this little bit of this video resonates, then do check in on the video called When Kindness Goes Wrong, because there's more information about this area of saying yes and no in that particular video. But I really wish in this video to urge you to learn from Willow as I have. Do not close yourself to the possibility of love, because in doing so, you close yourself to the possibility of healing. You close yourself to the possibility of finding hope and learning to navigate relationships from a position of awareness, but awareness that is built not in fear, but in the integration of your history into who you are right now from a position of empowerment and choice. You will also, by the way, find another video in this series about the relationship between choice and empathy. All of these aspects are tremendously important in developing our own position of personal empowerment so that we navigate life from a position of health and wellness, not only for ourselves, but for all of those people that we come into contact with. Thank you so much for listening. Together we really can make a difference.